Some roads tie communities together. Others carry scars you can't see on a map. In central Washington, along US 97 and I-82 through Yakama Nation and Yakima County, families have lived with unanswered questions for decades. Where is she? Who did this? Why has no one been held to account? Tonight we're focusing on this corridor, Toppenish, Wapato, Yakima, because too many cases here are still unsolved and too many families are still searching.
Washington has taken real steps, creating a state MMIWP task force, a missing Indigenous person alert, MIPA, and a cold case unit dedicated to Indigenous cases. Progress matters, but progress isn't closure, not until families get answers. We'll walk you through the landscape, patterns, the cases we can responsibly discuss, and what you can do right now if you know something.
No problem. All units
I'm informed of Pleasant Hill and John Young Freeway.
151519 East 18.
Our focus is a transportation corridor where long distances, patchy transit, and the realities of rural life intersect. When rides are scarce, hitchhiking or informal rides become survival strategies, and predators exploit those gaps. Families and reporters have documented dozens of cases in and around the Yakama Reservation. Many remain unsolved.
This episode is not rumor-driven. We'll stick to what's on the record from Washington agencies and local reporting. We'll also point you to tip lines and reporting channels that actually get information to investigators. If you've been near US 97 or I-82 over the years and remember a vehicle, a name, a sighting, even a small detail, stay with us through the outro.
Well, 40 people are missing from the Yakama Reservation. That's according to a new report by the state's task force on missing and murdered Indigenous people. The report includes recommendations for dealing with the crisis. KAPKV's Emily Goodell spoke to the FBI and Yakima County Sheriff's Office about steps that they've already taken to address those key issues.
This is central and eastern Washington. Orchards, rangelands, truck stops, rail lines. US 97 runs north and south. I-82 links towns and passes. Some stretches feel isolated. That mix, remote segments plus limited transit, creates opportunity windows for offenders. Families, tribal leaders, and local journalists have been sounding the alarm here for years.
Washington responded with policy and infrastructure tools. The MIPA alert, first of its kind nationwide, broadcasts when an Indigenous person is reported missing. The Cold Case Unit helps local and tribal agencies revisit files, re-interview witnesses, and apply new forensics. They're not silver bullets, but they are critical scaffolding.
Statistics don't capture what it feels like to search a ditch line with relatives or to tape a poster to a gas station window. Local projects, like the Yakima Herald Republic's The Banished, share family stories that stretch across decades. Those voices are why we're here.
We'll name cases when details are responsibly sourced and public. We'll also be candid about gaps, because acknowledging what we don't know is part of ethical true crime coverage. When there are developments, we'll say so. We'll be focusing on unsolved murders that fit this narrative.
So who takes the lead? It depends on jurisdiction. Tribal police, county sheriffs, city PDs, Washington State Patrol, and sometimes federal partners like the Bureau of Indian Affairs Missing and Murdered Unit. When you submit a tip, it needs to reach the investigating agency. In the outro, we'll give you clear, Washington-specific channels.
The MMIWP task force at the Attorney General's office isn't a police force. It drives policy, data, and coordination. The cold case unit supports re-exams, new interviews, and forensic work where possible. It's slow, patient work, but we've seen files move because people spoke up years after the fact. Tiana Lee Raincloud, Unsolved Homicide, South Wapato Road, March 30th, 2021. Shot around 11 p.m. at a residence south of Wapato. Nighttime movements, vehicles, and visitors in that area are crucial.
Angela Marie Heath, Unsolved Homicide, US 97 and South Wapato Road, on April 5th, 2019. Struck and killed by a hit-and-run driver while crossing near the US 97 and South Wapato Road intersection around 11:30 p.m. Even a fragment, make, color, or aftermarket lights could help.
Destiny Louise Lloyd, Unsolved Homicide, near Hera Road and Marion Drain Road, between December 25th and 29th, 2017. Last seen on Christmas, found days later. Cause of death, a basal skull fracture. Holiday week travel means more witnesses than you'd think.
Minnie Rainbow Andy, Unsolved Homicide, in Wapato on July 9th, 2017. Assaulted on Egan Road. Died from blunt force injuries. The 2017 federal indictment was later dismissed, and the case remains open. Re-interviews can shift cases. Speak now if you hesitated before.
Linda Dave, Unsolved Homicide, near Toppenish, February 2017. She was found beneath a bridge on Highway 97. Her cause of death, a gunshot wound. Bridge traffic, regulars, and anyone who noticed a distressed vehicle, please come forward.
Naoma Alexandra George, Unsolved Homicide, in a Wapato alley on October 15th, 2013. She was a mother of 8, and she was beaten to death in an alley. Neighborhood memory matters. Porch lights, late-night sounds, or unfamiliar vehicles.
Barbara Salestein, Unsolved Homicide, Wapato, September 5th, 2005. She died from a blunt force head trauma at a home in the Apis Gowdy housing project. House party rosters and visitors can resurface over time.
Roselia Tuli So Happy, Unsolved Homicide, last seen December 31st, 1988. Found March 13th, 1989. She was last seen New Year's Eve. Her body was found in a ravine on Ottenham Ridge. Cause of death, strangulation. New Year's gatherings, names, rides, and after parties. Those details age but don't vanish.
Joanne Betty Wyman John, Unsolved Homicide, last seen in Brownstown, August 1st, 1988. Her remains were found in 1991. She was found near Mill Creek by White Swan, ruled homicidal violence. Decades later, even if you heard something secondhand, talk to investigators.
Unidentified Parker Doe, Unsolved Homicide near Parker Dam, February 16, 1988. The skeletal remains of an unidentified Native woman in her late 20s or early 30s were found. Clothing details were documented. Identity is justice. If you're missing a relative from that era, consider DNA family reference kits.
Babette Crystal Green, Unsolved Homicide, Last seen October 1986. Her remains were found in 1987 off North Track Road. Her cause of death is listed as homicidal violence. Old rumors harden into silence. Let's break that cycle.
What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now!
Those are the cases that FBI Seattle Assistant Special Agent in Charge Kelly Smith says strike at the hearts of those who investigate them.
These are some of the most horrific crimes that an FBI investigator would observe during their career.
Families and advocates have pushed for faster alerts, better data sharing, culturally grounded services, and transportation options so people aren't forced into risky rides. The MIPA alert and task force work are steps forward, but rural geography means prevention has to be ongoing and locally informed.
Trust matters. Historical underpolicing in Indigenous communities and jurisdictional complexity affect reporting. Solutions have to be co-designed with the tribes most impacted, with Yakama Nation at the center here, so people feel safe coming forward.
We'll frame this carefully. Given the time span and geography, the most plausible framework is multiple offenders over time, often opportunistic predation when victims were isolated or traveling. Some cases may involve acquaintances, while others appear stranger-initiated. Rural terrain can also degrade or scatter evidence, making linkages difficult. Now, these are frameworks, not conclusions.
So what actually moves cases? New witness accounts, re-examined physical evidence, vehicle identifications, jailhouse chatter that finally gets vetted, and crucially, people rethinking what they saw years ago.
If you have any information about someone missing or murdered in this corridor, call 911 for urgent or time-sensitive info. Contact the investigating agency directly if you know the case number or department. The Washington State Patrol, Missing Indigenous Persons Resources. Here's their contact website link. BIA Missing and Murdered Unit, MMU, at 1-833-560-2065. Or text BIA MMU and your tip to 847-411. Crime Stoppers Washington at 1-800-222-TIPS. These can be anonymous. Tips are routed to local agencies and rewards may be possible.
If you're unsure where to start, give WSP's Missing Indigenous Persons contacts a call. They'll point you to the right jurisdiction. And if your information spans borders or years, share it anyway. Threads connect in unexpected ways.
We say their names because their families need us to. We share these roads because people still travel them. And we keep these phone lines open for as long as it takes.
We want to thank you for joining us today for this episode. Please share with us your thoughts, ideas, and theories in the comment section. Until next time, stay safe, stay curious, and stay loud.